Good morning students. I hope you all are fine and safe at your homes. I also hope you are ready for today's class as per the timetable. Today is Friday and is our science class. So let's continue, and before continue I want to tell you all the students what I am seeing in their class group and the personal WhatsApp that you are doing learning, reading the books, some activities also, and rest students also do it who are not doing. So please motivate the students which are not doing and we continue for the studies. So let's continue our today's class. Our today's class is on diversity in living things and their classification. So before we move further, let's recall our previous knowledge, what you studied in the earlier classes. So you all are familiar with our planet Earth. This is our planet Earth, and we all know at different places on the earth the geographical conditions are different, and there is a lot of biodiversity, means lot of plants, animals, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom is present all over the earth, and all these exists in these diverse conditions and also survive because of their ability to adapt themselves according to the geographical conditions, such as mode of nutrition, then their habits, habitats, etc. So they survive in these diverse conditions also. So let's recall our previous knowledge, what we have learned. So students, here is a simple activity for you which you have learned earlier. So I want to continue. So students, these are some chits. I have written something in these chits, and here these are the bowls. So in one bowl written clothes, then games, third bowl is of grains, vegetables, fruits, and some musical sounds. So here are 5 bowls which I have placed. You can make many more. There are a lot of examples which we can do. So first I open this chit. This is cabbage. So in which category it belongs? Let's see. Vegetables. Another chit. Shirt. Shirt comes under clothes. This all we have learned in the earlier classes. Then tabla, musical sound instrument. Potato, again it is a vegetable chit. Guitar, again it is a sound, musical instrument. Maize, maize, where it we cap? Grains, yes. Let's move further. Pant, again it comes under clothes. Kabaddi, now it is a game. So we keep in this bowl of game. Dholak, again musical sound instruments. Hockey, again games. Then tomato, again it is a vegetable. Brinjals, again vegetable. What we are doing, students? Now bajra, we are classifying the objects. Apple, it's a fruit. Badminton, again game. Cricket, again game. Jwar, grains. Harmonium, again musical instrument. Pulses, again grains. onion, vegetable. Frog, again it is a clothes. Where is clothes? Yes. So like this, what we did, we categorize all these materials into the various groups. So what groups I have made? Of grains, vegetables, games, clothes, fruits, some musical sound instruments. So there are lot of materials which we can categorize. Is that clear? So you can easily classify all these things. So you can make more chits like this, and you have studied already in these earlier classes. So how to classify the materials. So it is a previous knowledge which we have which I have repeated. So let's continue further. What is our further topic? So this is all about the classification of materials. So now just we have only classified it according to the groups of fruits, vegetables, grains, games, musical sound instrument. So we have only categorized all these things. So let's move further. What we want to do it? What we want to do it is to how to classify the objects. So let's come further. So we find all these living beings, living things exist on our planet Earth in the adverse conditions, difficult situations, because they are adapted. So let's continue. We see that while adapting, there are many differences which are observed in the organisms of same species too also. So these are the changes. These we have seen in many of the species of plants also, as well as the animals also. So let's continue. According to 211 census, around 87 million species of living organisms are found on the earth, including the land as well as on the sea. So there is a lot of ratio, lot of proportion. All living beings, they exist. So it is very difficult to study and remember all these organisms. So at the same time, and this biodiversity exists all over the world. So it is very important, very need. So it is a need to classify all these into different groups. So let's continue further, students. So up till now, what we have studied? We studied the need to classify the objects. In the previous activity, we have classified fruits, vegetables, grains. So I want to tell you students one thing, that there are lot of things, lot of materials in our daily life which we can relate to our topic, and which helps us to understand easily the concept of what we want to learn. So I am also giving one example. When you come to school in the earlier stage, means in the nursery, first class, so what happens when you come? You are a small kid, you are a small child. Likewise, development happens, and what are the factors which we will study later on. But let us recall this moment. When we come to school, we are small, we learn so many things. After we grow, what happens? Our age increases, our ability to understand increases, our thinking capacity increases, observation skills, all the skills increased day by day according to the age. So here is a simple model of our school which I want to introduce you. So here are the classes in our school. So I have shown here from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th classes. So let's see students. If we want to study the students, so in our school, our teachers, what they did, they assess the students. How? By implementing some tools, some activities, some observations, some written tests. So here I want to tell you students that if the student is in the fifth class, so we cannot ask the questions related to 7th, 8th, 6th, whatever in the higher classes. So there is a criteria for assessment. With the help of this assessment, the development of the child goes on in our school. So here I want to tell these all are the students. These all are the students. When the student is in 5th class, so the teachers assess the students to the level of 5th class only, and they do experimentations, activities, some written tests, some oral tests, whatever the teachers want to assess the students. So from this, in the 5th class, yearly there is a result which we all teachers give to you students. So you pass to the next class, that is the 6th class. So some criteria is there for the assessment. So 5th class students then goes to 6th, 6 goes to 7, then 7 goes to 8, 8th class students goes to 9, and 9th class students goes to 10. Likewise, up to next level to the colleges, degrees, and so on. So there is a some level for assessing the students. If all the students are not in the class, means I have not kept all these students in the boxes, means in the class, I have kept just randomly, then what happened? It is not able to assessment. Teachers will not be able to assess the students according to the levels. So here also some criteria is there for the assessment of the students. So student, this is the example which I want to give, because you all are familiar for the school education coming from the nursery up to the 10th class. So there is a gradual change. The level of the students increases. How increases? By making the classes criteria. So now I come to a particular class. In our class also, what happens? There are so many students. The level of understanding, observation skills, all these are different. So for the proper understanding of the concepts, what we do? We make groups, means peer groups are formed. Group study, group discussion, all these are happenings that helps the students to do his study more perfectly, understand more easily in groups. So this is the importance of classification, making groups in our schools, in our classes. So this is the model of our classes in the school. Now I am relating this to our biodiversity on the planet Earth. Again, see students, there is a lot of biodiversity, as just we have said. So it's very difficult to study the characteristics, the features of the living organisms. So there is a need for classification. So there is a need to classify all these objects. So why classification is done? To study the living organisms according to the sake of our convenience, to study the properties, study the characteristics more accurately and in the understandable form. So let's move further, students. So for this, many scientists, they make their different criteria for the classifications, such as color, shape, size, height, and also the modes of nutrition, etc. There are so many criteria. So as we have just seen and told students you that there is a vast diversity on our planet Earth. This is a planet Earth. So it was essential for them to divide into groups and the subgroups based on the similarities and on the differences. So again I am going to this model, classrooms model. In our class, same age students are there. Suppose 95%. So these class groups age does not match with this 6th class, does not match with the 7th class. So there is a particular criteria of the age group. So we can learn so many things from this model because these are all are familiar with us and you also. You know, you are learning from nursery up to the 10th class. So you can easily understand by this model what is the need, why to classify their groups as well as the subgroups. So let's move further, students. So what happens? Different scientists, they utilize the different criteria. So let's come further. While classifying, a hierarchy from lower to upper, it is formed while doing the classification. So how we can classify the objects? We have seen in the recalling note. So now we come to our topic, that how does we do it? So here are here some objects, cups are there. I have written something on that. You can see the students what I have written, and I have kept randomly. I have kept randomly. Now this activity is also for you. So I have kept randomly. You classify what is the hierarchy level. So first I am telling you, then afterwards you do at your homes. So first is the domain. So I am also finding. So this is the domain. First level is the domain. See students, I am keeping there domain. Then what comes afterwards? I am keeping one plate over it, small plate. After that, kingdom. What comes? Kingdom. Let's see. Second hierarchy level is the kingdom. Again, one plate. Then comes to phylum. Here is the phylum. Again, keeping the plate. Phylum. After that, class. Yes, this is class. Then comes to order. This is order. See students, order. After that, family. This is family. Again I am keeping the plate. Then genus. What are this? Genus. Again species. So let's see what is formed here. A tower starting from domain to the species. So this tower is called the hierarchy. This tower is called the hierarchy. And now we are doing the classification of living organism. So here this is called the hierarchy of classification of living organisms. So students, here is a simple trick for you. What is this trick? Let's see. The king plays chess on the fine green squares. This is a simple sentence. You learn it. It is very interesting. So, the represents the domain. King represents the kingdom. Plays represent phylum. Chess represent class. On represents order. Fine represent family. Green represent genus. And square represent the species. So with the help of this simple sentence, you can easily learn the hierarchy, where it starts from. So it is a very simple trick, students. You note it down in your notebooks as you are already with these materials. So please see once again. The king plays chess on fine green squares. So with the help of this activity, you can easily learn the order of hierarchy. So this is a simple activity, how to learn the hierarchy of classification. So coming further, I want to introduce one example also. What is that? Suppose in our class there are so many students, but with the same name. Sometimes there are 3 or 4 students or 2 students. Suppose Kiran, Sita, Geeta, whatever is there. So in our class, when we want to say something about a particular student, if they are having same names, so how do we represent them? How do we tell all the class that I want to tell about this student? So what we have to do? We have to be very particular with the name also and with the surname also. Is that clear? So there are 2 things, means by name, surname. So it is very similar to the binomial nomenclature of living organisms. So binomial nomenclature includes 2 things, species and genus. So here I am introducing about the binomial nomenclature, giving the example of students. If we are very perfect in our instructions and telling what I want to say about this Kiran, so the students will not get confused that the madam is telling about this Kiran only, this Sita only, this Geeta only. So we have to take their name also and the surname also when the names are similar. So let's come to our living organisms classification. So it includes 2 parts. First is genus and second is species. Yes. Yes. Genus and species. Is that clear? Yeah, these 2 things are very important. You can also take the example of mango. There are different tastes of mangoes, means different species. Genus is same but species is different. Also you can take the variety of roses, the variety of hibiscus flower. There are so many examples. So with the what is the purpose of showing these example and activities, that you can relate in your daily life examples. These all things are there. Just we have to make our vision clear and understood that different colors of hibiscus, different colors of roses, means genus is same, they are roses, but species are different. So let's move further, students. So all the identified organisms have been assigned a binomial name as per the guidelines of International Code of Nomenclature. So the process of dividing all these organisms, living organisms, into groups and subgroups is called biological classifications. All the organisms of the species are so similar irrespective of their color, height, habitats, habits. They can reproduce among themselves and form the new individuals like themselves. For example, cat, dog, hibiscus flower, what I have told earlier, jawar varieties. So there are so many things, and you all have studied this in the earlier classes. Is that clear? So let's come. For example, in animals, cat, dogs, cows, hens, etc. Then in plants, just I have said mango, maize, etc. Whatever the things are there. So I am telling the name of living organisms: dog. The scientific name Canis luteus familiaris. Second, cow, Bos taurus. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Then jawar, sorghum bicolor. So these are the scientific names of some of the living organisms which you have studied in our earlier classes in the 7th standard or in the 6th standard. So this classification, what I have told you in this class, students, this is from 6th class up to the 10th level. So this is the base of classification, how we can relate with the daily life, and also after relating what we want to learn. So let's come further. So here I want to classify, giving one example just by the trick. First, kingdom. Let's see, student, kingdom. Then phylum. Where is the phylum? This is the phylum. So see, students, what I want to tell you. Kingdom, phylum, then class, then order. Where is the order? This is the order. Then order, family. This is family. Now genus, and last one is the species. Yes. So let's see what we are doing. So here in this strips I have written the classification. It is arranged randomly. Now we have to arrange properly. So in phylum, first is the kingdom. Before phylum, first is the kingdom. So this is the classification of a mango fruit. Just an example. First kingdom is the planty kingdom. It comes under plant. Then second is the phylum. So phylum is Anthophila. This is the phylum, Anthophila. Third one is the class. So what is the class? Dicotyledone. Class is the Dicotyledone. Then comes order, Sapiendales. Then after order, family. Family is Anacardiaceae. After that, genus, Mangifera. And species is Indica. So with the help of these strips, this is the activity, how to make interesting, how to learn easily. So by arranging them in the proper order with the help of this trick I have shown earlier, we kept the classification of a mango fruit according to the hierarchy. So this is the classification of mango fruit. Now, likewise, we also classify. What we want to classify, student? Human. The classification of human. So again, this is randomly placed. So we start with kingdom. Next, phylum. Then class. Then order. Then family. Then genus. And it is species. Is that clear, students? So again, I have taken the ice cream spoons. Now, here I have written the classification of human. So, first, kingdom. What is the kingdom? Animalia. Is that clear? What is the phylum? Chordata. Then class, Mammalia. Then order, primates. Then family, Hominidae. Then genus Homo and species is Sapiens. So here, students, what we did? The classification of human. Classification of human according to the hierarchy level. So we have done two classification. One is of plant kingdom and one is of animal kingdom. Mango, plant kingdom, human, animal kingdom. So just what we studied with the help of these activities, how to classify the living organisms. So let's move further, students. Again, coming to binomial nomenclature. So binomial nomenclature was earlier given by the scientist Carl Linnaeus. Earlier time, this classification was accepted. So binomial classification given by Carl Linnaeus. He classified in 1735 in two groups, Animalia and Vegetabilia. So now further, this is the classification of binomial classification given by Carl Linnaeus, scientist in 1735. Now in 1886, Haeckel scientist, he classified into three kingdoms, Prostia, plants and animals. Again in 1925, Chatham created two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then again in 1938, Copland divided living organisms into four kingdoms. What are they? Monera, Protista, plants and animals. Then in 1969, Robert Harding Whittaker, an American ecologist, divided these living organisms into five groups. First is Monera, second is Protista, third is fungi, fourth is plantae, fifth is Animalia. So here, students, again a trick how to learn. So let's see, students. Here, this is the paper. This is paper. What I am doing? Let's move these articles. So here, see, students, what I am doing? I am making a sketch of my hand. It is a very interesting activity. You can learn easily. I have made a sketch of hand. So you can also make it and write like this. I have prepared one set for you. So you write Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. So by the activities we can easily learn the concept how it is divided into 5 groups, and it is very interesting. You make it in your notebooks. This activity is very simple. You can easily do it and learn what are the formats, what are the order of, what are the orders, how these are placed serially. This one more activity, it is a simple globe classification of living organisms. Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. So there are so many activities which you can do at your homes and learn easily how these 5 kingdoms, how these 5 groups are formed by the scientist Robert Whittaker. So students, you can do and learn these how the Robert Whittaker classified into the 5 groups. So from the class 6th up to the 10th level classification is there. So this is the first part of classification. So in the next classes 9th, 10th, in 9th there is a plant classification. So these activities will help you how this classification is done. On what basis the classification is done, to study the features, characteristics of the living organisms, whether they are plants or they are animals. So I hope students you all understood the concept of classification of living organisms. Thank you students. We will meet in the next class.